Fade out. To gradually become darker or less visible. Synonym for fade out. Diminish, vanish, dissipate, disappear, evanesce, wane. As the sun set behind the horizon, the colors of the sky gradually faded out. The old photograph had faded out over the years, making it difficult to see the details. The lights in the room started to fade out as the power went off. Drown out. To make something less visible by surrounding it with darkness or shadow. Synonym for drown out. Overwhelm, overshadow, muffle, suppress, overpower, eclipse. The loud music from the party next door drowned out our conversation. The tall trees drowned out the moonlight, casting a deep shadow over the forest. The noise of the construction site drowned out the sound of the birds chirping. Cast over. To cover something with darkness or shadow. Synonym for cast over. Shadow, shade, cover, blanket, envelop, veil. The storm clouds cast a gloomy shadow over the landscape. The setting sun cast a warm glow over the fields before disappearing below the horizon. As the storm clouds gathered, they cast a dark shadow over the landscape. Dim down. To reduce the brightness of something, often gradually. Synonym for dim down. Lower, decrease, reduce, dim, tone down, soften. As the evening approached, the natural light dimmed down, signaling the end of the day. To create a cozy atmosphere, they dimmed down the lights in the room. As the evening approached, the street lights dimmed down, creating an atmosphere of darkness. Blackout. To make something completely dark by covering or obscuring it. Synonym for blackout. Conceal, obscure, shroud, mask, cover, veil. The storm clouds blacked out the sky, obscuring the stars and moon. The curtains blacked out the room, blocking all sunlight from entering. The power outage blacked out the entire neighborhood, leaving them in complete darkness. Blanket with. To cover something entirely with darkness. Synonym for blanket with. Smother with, suffuse with, drape with, cloak with, envelop with, veil with. The night sky was blanketed with stars, providing little illumination. The thick fog blanketed the city with an eerie darkness, reducing visibility to mere feet. As night fell, the snow began to blanket the landscape with a serene white covering. Shroud in. To envelop something in darkness or shadow. Synonym for shroud in. Envelop in, cover in, wrap in, conceal in, drape in, cloak in. The dense forest shrouded the path in darkness as night fell. The dense fog shrouded the city in darkness, making it difficult to see. The heavy curtains shrouded the room in darkness, blocking out the sunlight. Engulf in. To completely surround or cover something with darkness. Synonym for engulf in, swallow in, submerge in, immerse in, envelop in, submerse in, deluge in. The city was engulfed in a blanket of thick fog, reducing visibility to mere feet and slowing down traffic to a crawl. As tensions escalated, the region became engulfed in conflict, with neighboring countries being drawn into the fray. The news of the scandal quickly spread, and the celebrity's life was engulfed in controversy, leading to intense media scrutiny and public outcry. Swallow up. To absorb or consume something in darkness. Synonym for swallow up. Consume, devour, engulf, absorb, ingest, gobble up. The deep canyon seemed to swallow up the hikers as they descended into its depths. The thick fog seemed to swallow up the entire landscape, leaving us disoriented. The thick fog swallowed up the streetlights, reducing visibility to near zero. Plunge into. To suddenly enter or experience darkness. Synonym for plunge into. Dive into, submerge into, immerse into, sink into, delve into, dip into. With a flick of the switch, the room was plunged into complete darkness. As the sun set, the forest was plunged into darkness. As the sun set, the city plunged into darkness. Veil with. To cover or conceal something with a layer of darkness. Synonym for veil with. Cover with, enshroud with, screen with, conceal with, mask with, shroud with. The thick curtains veiled the room with darkness, creating a cozy atmosphere. The heavy fog veiled the landscape with a mysterious darkness. The evening mist veiled the countryside with darkness. Cloak in. To wrap or cover something in darkness or shadow. Synonym for cloak in. Wrap in, envelop in, drape in, cover in, shroud in, veil in. The dense forest cloaked the trail in darkness, making it eerie to walk through at night. The thick clouds cloak in darkness the moon, casting a shadow over the landscape. The dense forest cloaked in darkness as night fell, concealing its secrets within. Obscure by. To make something difficult to see or understand due to darkness. Synonym for obscure by. Conceal by, veil by, mask by, shroud by, cover by, envelop by. The dense fog obscured the view, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. The heavy rain obscured the road signs, causing drivers to miss their exits. The thick fog obscured the road ahead, making driving dangerous. Eclipse by. To overshadow or darken something by casting a shadow over it. Synonym for eclipse by. Overshadow by, surpass by, outshine by, dim by, diminish by, outdo by. The tall buildings in the city center eclipsed the surrounding streets, casting them into shadow. The tall buildings eclipsed the street, plunging it into darkness. The mountain range eclipsed the valley below, blocking out the sunlight for much of the day. Drape over. To cover or hang something over with darkness or shadow. Synonym for drape over, cover over, hang over, spread over, lay over, veil over, screen over. The thick curtains were draped over the windows, blocking out the sunlight. As night fell, a heavy fog draped over the city, enveloping it in darkness. The heavy clouds draped over the mountain, casting it into darkness. Mask with, to hide or conceal something using darkness. Synonym for mask with, cover with, conceal with, veil with, shroud with, screen with, disguise with. She tried to mask her disappointment with a forced smile, but her eyes betrayed her true feelings. The shadows of the trees masked the path with darkness, making it difficult to see. He masked his insecurity with bravado, hoping to appear confident in front of his peers. Cover up, to hide or obscure something with darkness. Synonym for cover up, conceal, hide, disguise, camouflage, obscure, veil. The thick curtains covered up the window, blocking out all light. The storm clouds covered up the stars, casting the night in darkness. The heavy blanket of snow covered up the landscape, transforming it into a winter wonderland. Engulfed by, to surround or overwhelm something with darkness. Synonym for engulfed by, submerge by, overwhelm by, surround by, deluge by, envelop by, immerse by. The raging wildfire rapidly engulfed by the forest, leaving behind a trail of destruction in its wake. As the flames spread rapidly, the old wooden house was engulfed by the fire, leaving little chance for salvage. The tiny boat was engulfed by the massive waves during the storm, tossing its occupants into the churning sea. Wrap in, to encase or envelop something with darkness. Synonym for wrap in, enfold in, encase in, swathe in, bundle in, sheath in, cocoon in. The storm clouds wrapped the city in darkness, signaling an impending thunderstorm. The thick fog wrapped in darkness, obscuring everything in its path. The heavy clouds wrapped in the landscape, casting it into shadow. Overshadow by, to darken or obscure something by casting a shadow over it. Synonym for overshadow by, eclipse by, cast a shadow over, diminish by, outshine by, distract from, dominate by. The towering skyscrapers overshadowed the street below, casting it into darkness. The dense forest overshadowed the trail, making it difficult to see the path ahead. The tall trees overshadowed the path, casting it into darkness. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.